some more.
Yo, what's good, people? Izzy Max here, back again with another tier ranking video. In today's rankings, we're going to be doing Pseudo Legends and all of their evolutions. So without further ado, if you guys have any of these you'd like me to do, either tweet them at me at IzzyMax4 on Twitter, or just leave them in the comment section down below. I have a backlog of these that I'm going to be doing, so let's go ahead and jump on into it. First off, we have Gen 1 Dratini. Dratini's pretty cool. The only problem with this line, and I'm going to preface these rankings by how they pair up in their generation and against other people or other pseudos. And Dratini was one that was really hard to get. I believe you can only get it from fishing in the Safari Zone, but I could be way wrong. And in its generation that it got introduced, Dragon kind of sucked. And this is how I'm going to kind of do it with this one. Dragon was really not great in Gen 1. Dragonite and its line was the only Dragon types. It didn't have any attacking moves. And even if it did, Dragon was special. And Dragonite was a physical attacker. And then as it goes on in the meta, Dragonite's kind of weird. It kind of gets overshadowed by other dragons with the addition of multi-scale for an ability. It does become a little more defensive and able to kind of set up, which it really needs, because it's not the greatest in its speed tiers at 80. But I am using it right now in a draft league, and it kind of struggles, not gonna lie. It hits really hard, but it can't outspeed things that it needs to. And then once multi-scale procs, it's not that bulky. So next up, if you're a fan of this channel, you already know, but I'm actually going to rank them like this. Ttar is my favorite mon of all time. It's the channel mascot, but Larvitar, it's okay as a first stage. I like it better than Dratini. It is rock and ground, which is weird. It loses the ground typing in favor of the dark type when it evolves into Ttar. But Pupitar is just trash. I do not like this mon. You'll find out later on when we go to the Salamence line. I don't like larva stage evolutions for my pseudos. And this is one of the only non-dragon pseudos, as well as Metagross. And I just overall like Ttar. It's always been good. It's always top tier in every generation it's in. And right now it's kind of a prevalent force in the VGC meta as well. Next up, we have the Metagross line. Beldum's cool. Matang is alright. And then Metagross actually goes up here as well. I like how these two pseudos, Ttar and Metagross, don't have the dragon typing, which is kind of popular for pseudos to have. But Metagross is overall really cool. Steel and Psychic. When it first got introduced, it had it wasn't weak to like dark, because Steel resisted dark. However, that has changed. Relatively really bulky mon. You could set it up with agility and a weakness policy, or do a bunch of different things. And when it does end up getting introduced into the VGC 2020-2021 meta, I feel like it's going to be really good with the Dynamaxing, and overall just a solid mon. Next up, we have Salamence. This is one that I'm not too fond of. Salamence isn't my favorite, but it is one of the mons that kind of overshadow Dragonite as a dragon flying. It ended up getting a Mega. Dragonite didn't. It just gets a lot of support, and overall it's just faster. More than likely it hits harder, gets some better coverage. Can be ran physical or special. Dragonite can't. Salamence always kind of prevalent. It gets Intimidate. So overall, really good mon. Garchomp is probably one of the only dragon pseudos that I'm actually going to have, and I like Gibble. Gibble's pretty cool. Or Gabite. No, Gibble. Yeah, Gibble, Gabite, Garchomp. Garchomp's one of the only dragons that are actually going to go in the S tier for me in the pseudo department. Just because I've always loved Garchomp. Garchomp is super cool design, really, really powerful, really good speed tier. overall, bulky, offensive, pretty quick. It kind of just checks all the boxes for me in terms of a good Mon. And overall, just really, really cool. This is a line I'm not really too fond of. Dino's pretty cool. I don't like Xvilus. And then Hydreigon is just kind of meh to me. I don't like the 4x weakness to Fairy. I don't like the kind of multiplying evolutions, kind of like Dugtrio, Doduo, things like that. I just don't like those kind of evolutions. But overall, it's a decent Mon, pretty quick. Levitate, even though it's not weak to ground, it does give it an immunity. Dark typing's pretty cool. Overall, it's just kind of a bland Mon. Up next, we have Goodra. This one's actually pretty hard because I kind of like Goodra. But problem is, I think I like Sliggoo better than I do Goodra. So Goodra, huge dumpy. This thing is super thick. On the special defense side, usually pair it with an Assault Vest, can take a lot of hits. But it can't really dish out a lot of damage unless it gets set up, which it can't really do by itself, other than it being in the Dynamax Mega, where it can, or Dynamax Meta, where it can use like Max Poison to raise its special attack or a weakness policy. But other than that, its abilities aren't really useful. Gooey, sure. Sap Sipper probably its best ability if you want to run a physical set, but that requires some reading with some switches. But overall, solid Mon. I do like Sliggoo better. Slap an Eviolite on that thing and it just never dies. Next up is the Kommo-o line. I'm not a huge fan of these. Actually, I'm going to move you down. I don't like you at all. Hakama-o is pretty cool. And I've used Kommo-o to a lot of success, and it's kind of fun. But it can get overpowered really quick. Probably going to put it here with Goodra on them. Kommo-o is just not what it should have been, I guess. Dragon Fighting, another quad weakness to Fairy. Also being weak to Flying. It's just got a lot of weaknesses. Again, it's not very quick. You kind of have to set it up. When there was a Z move and it got its own, you can just click it. Hits both targets really strong. And then it gives it an Omni boost. But now you have to use Clang or a Soul. Which can be good with like Throat Spray, but it requires proper setup. It gets two relatively useful abilities. Soundproof helps it against like Sylveons and things with Hyper Voice, and then Bulletproof for some reason doesn't work with Moonblast, but gives it some immunities to some common strong moves like Sludge Bomb and Energy Ball, and I believe Shadow Ball as well. And then lastly up, we have the Gen 8 Pseudo line in Dragapult, and this, I said that Garchomp would probably be my only dragon in top tier, but I do like this dragon a lot, and I like Dreepy more than Dracloak. So Dragapult's really cool as it takes the typing from Giratina. Since that was not in the decks, this is our only Dragon Ghost currently, and it's actually a really decent Mon. So it's super versatile. You can run support, you can run physical, you can run special, and in the Dynamax meta, it can do a lot of your typings and get the boost that you need. You need speed control, run, acrobatics, or fly. You need weather. It gets Scald. It gets Flamethrower. I don't know if it gets a rock move. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is a very versatile Mon. Super quick. Can hit really hard. In the meta right now, it kind of likes weakness policy, which is pretty cool. And then Dreepy's just cute. Dreepy's cool as crap, and the whole gimmick with Dragapult being able to shoot the Dreepies out of its head, kind of interesting. And then Dracloak, it's just a smaller Dragapult. It's not that cute like Dreepy, and I'm actually going to drop that down one more tier. I don't like it very much. But anyway, that's going to be my pseudo tiers. If you enjoyed this, please do leave a like. We are almost at 100 subs. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.